Media recognition from Bloomberg, Reuters, recycling trade publications. Patented process for 100% recovery of critical metals, including cobalt, lithium, nickel, manganese, aluminum. American Manganese is focused on recycling lithium-ion batteries for electric vehicles. American Manganese trades on the TSX Venture, AMY, the US, AMYZF, and Frankfurt 2AM. For more information, visit AmericanManganeseInc.com or phone me, Larry Ray, at 778-574-4444.
Welcome to the Goddard Report. Comments made on the Goddard Report and TalkDigitalNetwork.com are an expression of opinion only. Here is Jim Goddard.
My guest is Sheryl McCumsey, founder of Pesticide Free Alberta. Her website, pesticidefreealberta.org. Welcome back to the show, Sheryl, and best of the season.
Hello, and happy Christmas to everyone else.
Sheryl, beyond meat, we have fast food places now promoting non-meat burgers. So are people assuming that these are healthy products to eat, and do they have any drawbacks?
I won't consume it, and I looked into it because I see a lot of people are excited about it, and I think it's great that people consider introducing more of a plant-based diet, for sure, for many reasons. But I think we have to think about what we're doing when we do that. So, for example, with this particular burger, the first three ingredients are water, and then pea protein isolate, and then expeller pressed canola oil. Well, if you look at some studies that were done, I guess we could say the federal government took a look at our food system and did assessments of glyphosate in our food. And it's interesting that legumes, like peas, for example, had the highest levels of glyphosate in them. And this is just one herbicide sprayed on both non-GMO canola and regular canola, as well as peas. But a number of other pesticides are sprayed on both of these processed ingredients. So this is a processed burger that has a number of pesticides that's going to be present in the food, most likely, and at fairly high levels, as we're seeing in these other tests. And we know that these pesticides impact the gut. We're seeing high evidence of Canadians having issues with their gut in Canada. And so I would stay away from it. I wouldn't want to consume it. As well, I really wonder if we're concerned about animals and so forth, and that's why we want to eat a plant-based diet, I would be concerned about the company that's behind this burger, Cargill, who, is being sued currently for using children. It's hard to believe in this day and age, using children as slaves on their cocoa plantations on the Ivory Coast. They're not the only company that's being brought to court for this, and this has been ongoing for a number of years. But I don't know how far off inhumane practices we could be than child slavery in this day and age. So there's a lot of things I could say about this burger, but the fact that probably both of these, the first two ingredients that would be the primary ingredients, are going to have quite a few pesticides added to them.
And I know that the fast food restaurants like to advertise we don't use hormones or antibiotics. Have they said anything? Oh, and by the way, all of our products are pesticide free or herbicide free.
I haven't heard anybody say at a fast food place yet that they're herbicide free or pesticide free. I haven't heard that yet. I have heard, that they're antibiotic and growth hormone free. And actually Health Canada is looking to remove those from agricultural use anyways. So farmers are probably already in some ways thinking about being proactive and removing them. Some of the things that are replacing them, I'd still have the same kind of concerns about how they might act on the gut flora. But certainly that's only a couple of issues. The whole agricultural system has a number of things that we're seeing in our food today that have a lot of science behind the harm. And if you look at all the assessments that are done on conventional food products like peas and canola, some of the other pesticides that we hardly hear anything about have been mentioned recently as not even having, that have flawed science in the registration process. Glyphosate is being one of those that has been implicated in the U.S. as having flawed science when it was registered. Monsanto knew that it was linked to cancer and has hidden that information from public view, as well as chlorpyrifos. A new report came out on that recently as well, that the science used is flawed to begin with. So when you look at the evidence that's there that shows all the other health issues with them as well, and what we're seeing that's happening in the general population as far as gut diseases go, with all kinds of neurological problems that we're seeing, and all the science around the gut and the brain, the connection there, I just wouldn't want to eat that burger. I'm thinking, I'm going to save money if I go to an organic store and buy some lentils or black beans in bulk and cook up a bunch of burgers on the weekend and freeze them. That's what I would do. Save money, and you're going to save on your health, and you're going to save on the environment, and so far I haven't seen anything in a fast food restaurant I'd want to eat.
We'll have more with Sheryl McCumsey right after this.
Hi, I'm Douglas Mason, President and CEO of Rainy Mountain Royalty Corp., RMO, on the TSX Venture Exchange. Rainy Mountain Royalty Corp. is a Canadian-based mineral exploration project generator. The company currently holds multiple property interests in Ontario with joint venture partners and is seeking further joint venture partners for other drill-ready properties in our portfolio. For more information, please visit our website at rmroyalty.com or call me at 604-922-2030.
Cypress Development Corp's flagship lithium project is located just east of Albemarle's Silver Peak mine in the heart of Clayton Valley, Nevada. A 12-hole exploration drill program for lithium-enriched claystone on Cypress's 100% controlled properties is now underway. Cypress Development Corp trades on the TSX Venture Exchange, symbol CYP, the Pink's CYDVF, and on Frankfurt's C1Z1. For more information, please visit our website, cypressdevelopmentcorp.com.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Sheryl McCumsey. We were just talking about fast food restaurants and what they might serve to you and what they might feel or promote as a healthier choice. Are there actually restaurants out there that will serve up a meal that you can be pretty sure is free of pesticides and other toxic ingredients?
Well, a new restaurant opened up in Edmonton that I think is fantastic called the Green Mustache. They're 100% organic. And although it's like a little cafe, they do have takeout items, and I've gone there a number of times and found the food to be fantastic. It tastes great, and it's, if you need something quick. Unfortunately, of course, we don't have them all across Canada. There is some I know on the West Coast, and we just need more of that. And there's no reason why we can't have more of that. It's a matter of education, and a matter of desire to change the system, and I think it can happen. It's happening in other places in the world, and in the U.S. I know there's some fast food places that are going all organic. So also we do have to maintain organic as it is and not let the brand be weakened. I think some people don't know what organic actually is. It's not just antibiotic-free and hormone-free. Of the 7,000 pesticide products that are allowable for conventional farming, they're not allowed in organic. You can look up certification for organic standards and see what is allowed. So things like vinegar is allowed, but I could give a long list of pesticides that are not allowed. And then everything that's allowed in organic, a conventional farmer could use as well. So we hear, organic uses more or worse pesticides, but it's just not true. And the testing reveals that's not true. It shows that conventional foods do have contamination in them.
Have farmers themselves been brainwashed by the big chemical companies into believing you can't have an efficient farm or one that it produces as much as it can so you get a decent dollar, so that they feel the only way they can make money is to use these products?
Certainly, I think that goes on. And I think for a lot of them, there's a number of stresses on farmers. I mean, a lot of them are walking a rather fine line when it comes to making it or actually losing your farm. So, a person could point fingers at farmers and say, what are you doing and how terrible you are, but really, I believe it is up to the consumer to support farmers and moving away from this system. And I do know of farmers in Alberta who have been mentored by other farmers. I think that's what has to happen. It has to come from other farmers who are already doing it, because unless you are working in that field, it's hard to understand all the stresses and the problems that come up. You can't just stop spraying a pesticide one day and be organic the next day. It's a process, and the process comes from focusing on healthy soil first and foremost. And with pesticides, the focus is on the weed that shows up or the pest that shows up, rather than asking why that shows up in the first place. And it's really interesting when you look at glyphosate as registered in the patent as an antimicrobial, and looking at the studies that show how it is more harmful to beneficial microbes than pathogenic ones. So it actually creates a disease-type condition, but also that certain fungal diseases are increasing in tandem with the use of this herbicide. When you look at what it does to the soil and the fungal elements in the soil, it makes you wonder, okay, why are we getting a increase of fungal diseases? And there are studies on this as well that, organic wheat farmers, for example, in Saskatchewan did not see fusarium, which is a fungal disease, on their wheat. Why is that? Is that because organic farmers are creating conditions so that this fungal disease is not an issue in the first place? Or is it because they're not using chemicals that might actually create a disease-type condition? If you're taking an antibiotic for a long period of time, you can develop other diseases like Clostridium difficile, for example. We know this. It's fact. Well, glyphosate is an antimicrobial. So what is it doing to the soil? And what is it doing to us? Farmers aren't going to hear that from the pesticide companies. Pesticide companies are going to say, I see you have a problem with a fungal disease. Here, I've got a fungicide for you. They're good at marketing. That's what they do. They're selling something. So, of course, I think farmers have been influenced a great deal by these companies. They're multinational corporations. They make billions of profits, and they're very powerful. So who's going to be on the other side of this? It really has to come from another direction and entirely, and it's hard to make money selling a method or a system to someone as opposed to a product. There's no money to be made in that.
We'll have more with Sheryl McCumsey right after the break.
I'm Greg Johnston, CEO of Carl Data Solutions, an industrial Internet of Things company that provides big data solutions for monitoring critical infrastructure. Carl Data offers machine learning and predictive analytics features through our cloud-based applications to deliver key asset-saving operational insights from massive amounts of data. Carl Data trades on the CSE, symbol CRL, and the pink symbol CDTAF. For more details on Carl Data, please visit carlsolutions.com.
Don't miss out. Stay informed. Receive the HowStreet.com weekly recap with thought-provoking podcasts, radio, and articles delivered to your inbox. Sign up for the HowStreet.com weekly recap on our homepage at HowStreet.com.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Sheryl McCumsey. Sheryl, we have court cases in the U.S. claiming Johnson & Johnson put asbestos in their baby powder. Of course, they vehemently deny that they did and that the product is safe. I heard from another source, maybe it wasn't exactly asbestos, but a chemical that acts just like asbestos did and perhaps is just as dangerous. So even if it wasn't asbestos, it could have been something else. What can consumers do? Is it you just avoid using anything? How do you know something is safe?
Oh, yeah, that's a very good question. And I really feel for people, especially people who are very busy and have young children. Like, how do you go through all of the quagmire that's out there to sort out what's safe? Well, the best thing is to simplify your life as much as possible. Just simplify as much as possible. I mean, organic for me is what I rely on. Buying directly from the farmer as much as possible is what I rely on. And asking questions. It's still not perfect, but it's far better than the alternative. And when it comes to things like, I heard about this baby powder and these concerns. Again, do you need the baby powder? Or do we need all the household products that we have in our house, for example? Like, we have air fresheners. Do we need air fresheners? These are things that we're learning have, chemicals in them that are harmful to us that are not even tested. I mean, one example I could give too is that I came across personally that was shocking to me was dry shampoo. And dry shampoo, the first few ingredients are basically lighter fluid. And when I contacted Health Canada and said, hey, I don't really think it's good that my daughter is actually putting what's basically lighter fluid on her head, they basically told me, well, this industry regulates itself. And that's kind of the way our system is today. It's quite shocking to find out that, it's not just pesticides, but a lot of things on the market are having issues with people's health and the environment, and that what we thought was happening is really not happening. So the best thing is to simplify your life as much as possible and eat as clean as possible and just use less products in your house. And in our house, a lot of the times you don't need Windex. Hot water on a rag works even better than Windex, and you don't need that on your window. So you save money and you simplify. So, I mean, there are websites that are good for some of this, like, what's it called? A Canadian company. The Green Beaver. Yeah, Green Beaver. They are a company, Canadian company that the two people that started this, a microbiologist and a chemist from pesticide industry, were both concerned about the chemical onslaught that people are being exposed to every day and how this is hurting people. So they started this company. And so they sell, shampoos and soaps and so on, and they have a website that kind of lists the stuff you want to stay away from. And it does seem overwhelming at times to try to sort through this stuff, but if you find a good source and you get a list of things to stay away from, it can simplify your life. You just don't buy certain things.
Well, after I saw all these ads for steam cleaners, I thought, well, what if I just pour a little boiling water on the kitchen counter and use a paper towel to clean stuff up? And I thought boiling water is going to disinfect it, and it doesn't leave any residue.
Well, I guess it depends on the kind of countertop you got.
Well,
do that with everything, but certainly, yes. Boiling water is going to kill things better than a lot of cleaners will. Like some cleaners will, like some of the antibacterial soaps. Don't buy those. Those are, like, I worked in microbiology, and those bacterial soaps actually probably kill all the good stuff, not the bad stuff. It's basically friction that's going to be the best thing for cleaning than anything you're going to use. And even in some countries, like I believe Sweden now does not use cleaners in their hospitals. They use microfibers and stuff like that to clean.
Also, in Europe, when I was in Germany, I noticed the supermarket was selling, I think, ionized water, and that kills germs. It only lasts for 2 or 3 days, so you come back, 3 days later and buy a little more. But in Japan and Germany, apparently that's what they use for disinfecting as well. It kills germs, but it's water. It doesn't hurt anything else.
Yeah, it's something that if you're traveling in other countries, and you're concerned about, some organisms in your water causing health issues, you use iodine. It's what a traveler does. If you're in like third world countries and you're worried about some nasty bugs, you use iodine. So it's not even a new thing. It's just sort of something that we're maybe realizing might be better than what we've kind of turned to in recent years. But there's like in our house, we don't have many carpets at all. We just have mostly flooring. The thing about carpets too is that carpets hold things in them for a long period of time. So, there's studies on all of these things, but it's hard to absorb it all. Like if you use pesticides in your yard, for example, or if you're just walking in an area where there's pesticides and you get that on your shoes, you bring it into your house and it gets onto your carpet, it's going to hang around in your house for years. So, we talk about things breaking down, but if they get in your house and they don't break down and you're exposed to them daily, your chances of developing a disease go up quite a bit.
Sheryl, do Canadians have to do more to make their politicians aware of these hazards, and that although we hate government sticking their fingers into things, maybe this is an area where they should get their hands dirty?
That's sometimes a hard question to answer, because right now, I don't see this as a system that's working for anyone well. And companies will say, Health Canada is the strictest agency in the world, and I haven't seen that. I don't see that as to be true. So we need to do more than look at politicians. We have to look at the agencies themselves and the people within them that are not elected. And unless our politicians are highly aware, and I don't think they are. I don't think they have a background in science, and they're lobbied to by corporations and their intent to increase profits. So if they don't have an even ear, let's put it that way, to people who are informed and trying to protect public health, then I don't see how it's going to change. We need to change the agencies themselves. I mean, Alberta Environment, for example, we have been trying to get the Minister of Environment to listen to us, and it's like she either isn't hearing us, or the message that she's getting from her department has been changed from the reality. So, here in Alberta, we don't see a change happening, and I don't see it happening with Health Canada, and that's because the people in these departments are the same. They're not elected. I don't know how we're going to change that, but that's where the problem lies.
Sheryl, I hope your family has a great Christmas, and we'll chat with you in the new year.
Okay, thank you, Jim.
My guest has been Sheryl McCumsey, founder of Pesticide Free Alberta. Her website is pesticidefreealberta.org, and you can send messages to her as well if you have concerns about this and who to talk to about these issues at pesticidefreealberta@shaw.ca. You're listening to the Goddard Report on TalkDigitalNetwork.com. If you have any questions for our guests, you can send them to info@howstreet.com. I'm Jim Goddard. Best of the holidays.
Comments made on the Goddard Report and TalkDigitalNetwork.com are an expression of opinion only. The Goddard Report is available online and mobile at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. The Goddard Report is a production of Howe Street Media Incorporated.